very dark man stood in the midst of government officials, barristers, lawyers, security chiefs, heavily represented, and laid a very serious allegations at the 2026 NBA conference held in Port Harcourt. He said that the beneficiaries, those who are benefiting from the insecurity condition of the country, Nigeria, are the government, security institutions, even in the presence of Nigerians. Well, whether these allegations are true may be subjected to evidence or investigations and accountability, because even in the video from the conference, we saw that an army officer stood up and requested that those allegations were empty, they were not founded, because there were no evidence. Let's watch the video. I will come back to give you what the moral governor has to say concerning this kind of situation. Watch this video.
In Nigeria, particularly the widespread.
I think the root cause of insecurity is politics. The people that benefit from it are the cause of the insecurity. Now, who benefits from this? The government benefits. Everything is the government, trust me. Everything is the government. The government benefits, the police benefits, the military men benefit. Since insecurity started, generals get higher pay. The people are the sacrificial lambs. They don't benefit nothing. So these people, is their cry that the government benefits from. Oh, they killed a lot of people in Borno. We need more funding to combat insecurity. The government benefits again. The generals benefit again. See, these guys don't even have a budget. That's the craziest part. They can call the president any day and say, oh, I think we need to buy guns, so we need more guns. The president can say, give them 500 million. There's nothing. They don't write these things. They just collect money. That's why you
Wow. When you see one who has overcome fear and is able to speak directly to power, give it to very dark man. I salute his courage. Even the police commissioner who was sitting beside him was like, this guy, you know, the fear. But come to think about it, the army officer who said, oh, yeah, well, the things he's saying needs evidence and all that. But before I give further analysis, let me quickly say this. What other evidence do you want? Well, for me, I am not saying that very dark man is correct, what he's saying, because actually we have not seen evidence. But for me, what other evidence? Because just like in one video, that very dark man, after he came back, the recent video he made concerning how people were saying, oh, he apologized to the army, that means what he's saying is not right. Listen to what he said.
There was never a place when I said the entire Nigerian military is corrupt. There was never a place I said that. So the fact that I apologized does not mean I said it. I apologized because of what she interpreted. I was actually saying that the military are beneficiaries of the insecurity. And that is why these things cannot stop. I said, because of insecurity, the budget of these things have gone up. So a lot of military generals are benefiting from it. And from the benefit that they are getting, they are building houses. If you go to a lot of houses in Abuja are owned by this so-called general.
So what do you think? Do you think the allegations VeryDarkMan laid on the security institutions of this country, is it right? What do you think? Drop your comment in the comment section. Let's hear you. Let's hear your thoughts concerning it, because if what VeryDarkMan is saying is wrong, then the security agencies in the country have the burden of proof, they need to prove him wrong. Stop the killing, according to him. If you can stop the killing, if you can stop the kidnapping, if you can stop the attacks, then you prove him wrong, that what he's saying is wrong. Because how do you justify that lot of money are going into the security institutions, lots of budget, money are being allocated at every demand, and still people are dying, people are being kidnapped, traveling is almost impossible by road, and all other things, going to farm, and people are not safe, even to go to school is out of fear. Now, if these things are still prevailing and happening unrestrained, uncontrolled, and even overwhelming to our security system, then the security institutions of the country need to answer the question. Is VeryDarkMan right that the government and security institutions of the country are benefiting from the pains, from the tears, from the almost on every slight occasion, people are dying anyhow in the country? What do they have to say? Now, the greatest corruption is not whether we have wicked people in the system leading us. That is not the issue. But the greatest corruption that any nation can ever practice is to benefit from the deteriorating lifestyle and the system that they are supposed to protect. When leaders who are entrusted with nations' resources and who are supposed to protect lives and properties of the citizens in a nation now start exploiting and benefiting from those they are supposed to protect negatively, then you know that leadership has been destroyed. Leadership has been destroyed. When people have now turned the tears of the people into money making, like into business, then you know that it has become diabolical, if there's anything like that. It has become diabolical. So, whether VeryDarkMan's allegations have evidence or not, but we are just saying that in a situation whereby those who are supposed to protect are now benefiting from those they are supposed to protect, then you know that morality has been killed and buried. Have been killed and buried. Now, what is the moral governor's verdict concerning this kind of situation? And I always tell you, that whatever evil happening in the landscape, in our landscape, either political landscape or religious landscape, is not new. Is not new. And this is the evidence that the Bible is true. Because human nature is human nature. Human beings will always be human beings. And when people deviate from the standard of the moral governor, even in government, you will see that all these things will continue to happen. But it is quite unfortunate that such things will be happening, as Very Dark Man analyzed. Well, but he said it in the conference, and he went home scot-free and fearlessly, and I salute him for that. Now, I want to take you to what the moral governor says concerning issues like this. First, we saw leaders in Ezekiel 34. Instead of feeding the sheep, they now turned the sheep to their own food. That is, they did not even wait for wild animals from outside to come and feed on the sheep, but they themselves turned into wild animals overnight and started feeding on the sheep. Ezekiel 34, we have leaders like that who were doing so, just like it has been pointed out. Now, let me take you to Micah. Micah chapter 3, verses 1 to 3. Listen to what is written here. And I said, hear, you heads of Jacob and rulers of the house of Israel. Is it not for you to know justice? Is it not for you to know justice? You who hate the good and love the evil, who tear the skin from off my people and their flesh off their bones. That was leaders. This was what leaders were doing to their citizens, to their subjects. Verse 3 says, who eat the flesh of my people and fried their skin from and flay their skin from off them, and break their bones in pieces and chop them up like meat in a pot, like flesh in a cauldron. This was what leaders were doing to their subjects. They were subjecting the people into excruciating suffering. Okay, look at the government of today. What do the people really need? Those who are supposed to even manage to go to farm, they are no longer going to farm, because farming would have been, at least they say there's no job, and business may not be thriving because of inflation. And now one would have resorted to going into agriculture. But even at that, people's farmlands are being grabbed, killed while trying to cultivate their lands. Thereby subjecting the people into untold hardship, because when people can no longer go to farm, you know what that means. And that is exactly what we are facing in this country. Now listen to what verse 9 of this same Micah 3 says. Verse 9 and 10. Hear this, you heads of the house of Jacob and rulers of the house of Israel. House of Jacob in this context may be our government, from the presidency, the house of rep, the senators, the local government chairman, and all those, the ministers, all those in political or appointed offices. He says, who detest justice. Look at what he said. You love evil. You detest justice and love evil. Those who are committing atrocities are probably roaming the streets free. We see bandits, they will kidnap people, They will torture them at gunpoint, flog them. Sometimes they draw some of them on the road, tied their hands. Even our military officers, sometimes they are kidnapped, they are killed. All these things are done on video. Their faces are not covered, and they published these things. Is it that the government don't have the capacity to track and bring these people to justice? Now, we heard one time that a guy from far away north spoke his mind, maybe spoke ill of the former first lady. Or we have seen people, even there was a time we heard in Cross River, where a girl videoed a school, that a deteriorating nature of the school, and posted it online. The local government chairman traced that account, traced the lady, and went to her house to deal with her, allegedly. So it shows that whether government or even powerful individuals have the capacity to track and trace those who have done evil. And that is what the government stands for. In Romans 13, we are told that the government are placed there to punish evil and reward good. Let me read it so that you hear. Romans 13. Let me read it. From verse 1 says, "Let every person be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except from God, and those that exist have been instituted by God. Therefore, whoever resists the authorities resists what God has appointed, and those who resist will incur judgment. For rulers are not a terror to good conduct. Rulers are not what? Terror to good conduct, but to bad. Would you have no fear of the one who is in authority? Then do what is good, and you will receive his approval." That is what government was instituted to do: to maintain law, to maintain order, to reward good, to punish evil, those who are perpetrating evil, kidnappings, spying, and so many things. They are supposed to be brought to justice. The government is supposed to go after them. But what do we see? And so if these things are happening, what you leave us, people like VeryDarkMan, you leave us to start assuming things that maybe the hand of the government is in it. If not, why can't they solve the problem of insecurity? So the Moralgovernor has given a verdict. If the government is supposed to punish evil and reward good, but reverse has been the case, then something is wrong somewhere. Something is wrong. Then I go back to Micah. So that Micah chapter 3, verse 9 and 10 now says, "Hear this, you heads of the house of Jacob and rulers of the house of Israel, who detest justice and make crooked all that is straight." Elections are coming now. What is so difficult in giving free and fair election? It's supposed to be straightforward. People, you collect your voter's card, you are accredited, you go there, you cast your vote, and it is being uploaded live, and it's very straightforward, and we know the winner. And you see, just past recently, they were advocates for, youths were advocating for free and fair election, for electoral reforms. So what is so difficult in putting laws, measures in place and following that same measures? Here he's saying that the rulers make everything that's supposed to be straightforward crooked. In one interview, Rufai Hussein was asking a professor, what is so difficult in our political aspirants presenting their certificates? Why are there so much controversy in just, okay, you say you went to school, we know, you say you did NYSC, okay, just present your certificate. What's so difficult in that? Why is it becoming so hard for you to do that? If you went to school now, your certificate should be there. Even if I enter, burn your house, burn your certificate, you go to the school and get it. It's as simple as that. It has become problem here. They talk go this side. Abba. It's very simple. He said, look at it. It says, who detests justice and make crooked all that is straight. Everything that's supposed to be straightforward. Somebody has stolen money. Okay, you arrest the person according to the law. Not be so. You investigate the person. If the person is found guilty, then straightforward. Let the person be sentenced to how many years or whatever penalty it is according to the law. It's as simple as that. Then why is it so difficult? Why is it so difficult for government to give light, to do roads for the people? Why is it so difficult? So this is to confirm that the government makes crooked everything that's supposed to be straight. Then verse 11 says, verse 10 says, who built Zion with blood and Jerusalem with iniquity? The Zion and the Jerusalem of those days has passed. Today we have Nigeria. Could it be that as a security officer, you are building your estate with the blood of the innocent Nigerians? Could it be, like VeryDarkMan's alleged, that the big houses, fancy houses in the choice areas in Abuja, the castan's have been held by our military generals? Could it be true? That could it be that there are some people who are benefiting from the cry of the people? Oh, when there's an attack and the people are crying, oh, we need more money, and they get more money. Could it be true that estates, castan's, lands are being acquired from the blood of the people, like VeryDarkMan's alleged, that the people are the sacrificial lamb? Could it be true? This is just what happened in ancient Israel. And history may be repeating itself here in Nigeria. But the moral governor's verdict is that he will punish evil in the end. If such is the case, it's quite unfortunate that we have leaders who have seared their consciences and are now benefiting from the cry of the people. Quite unfortunate. This is beyond wickedness. This is moral shutdown. This is moral decay. And that is what happened when a society has refused to acknowledge the way of the moral governor. When the society now celebrates those who reject justice and walk in crooked ways. Now, apart from the government, even those who are citizens out there, in what way are you benefiting from the suffering and deteriorating system of a society? Like in my last video, there are some people who want to create content from the moral decay, from the system, from a deteriorating system. two people are fighting and you are enjoying it, you are recording. There are some people who want to benefit because things have gone bad. Are you there taking advantage of the poor system or the poverty that has captured somebody? Maybe somebody is poor and you are richer than the person, and you are taking advantage of the poor condition of that your gate man, of that your house help, of that your worker who has come to your company or your establishment or your business to look for ends meet. He is coming to look for ends to meet. Are you taking advantage of the unemployed system? Like, there is unemployment in the country. Are you taking advantage to exploit people? Maybe you have a school and your school is doing well and you are paying teachers peanuts. And if they want to complain, you say, I have CV packed in my office. If you cannot take what I'm giving you, you go. Another person will come. Are you taking advantage of the deteriorating system of the country? Then, like these leaders, he says, who build Zion with bloodshed? Are you building your business with from the deteriorating system of the people? Families are crying, somebody has worked for you, and he is supposed to depend. His family are waiting for him. Family are waiting for him. Like the Moralgovernor said, they are waiting for him, depending on that to survive. And all of a sudden, you said there's no money for those who are having daily paid jobs. They are supposed to survive with that daily pay wages that you give them, but you hold on that money. But you are buying your materials and building your project, but you hold on the little money you're supposed to pay those workers. Don't forget, the cry of the masses is going to stand against you if in any way you are taking advantage of the deteriorating system of people. Such were the case we saw in these passages. And like VeryDarkMan said, could it be true that there are some people who are building their estates, building their businesses from the blood being shared daily in the country? The Moralgovernor is against you. And unless you come back to his standard, judgment awaits you. Subscribe to this channel. Tag every government official and share the video. Perhaps they will see it and retrace their steps. God bless you.